The Watchers of Earth. The observation pod hummed softly as Senior Observer Talax adjusted the long-range scanners. His scaled fingers danced across the holographic controls, fine-tuning the instruments pointed at the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Earth, the locals called it. For centuries, the Galactic Monitoring Corps had watched the primitive species develop, expecting the usual slow progression toward space travel. But something had changed. Administrator Varin needs to see this, Talax muttered, his four eyes widening at the readings. He sent the data packet through the quantum link, knowing the response would be swift. Within the central chamber of the Galactic Council's headquarters, Administrator Varin's translucent skin pulsed with concern as she reviewed the information. The holographic display showed thousands of artificial satellites now orbiting Earth, military installations spreading across their moon, and energy signatures indicating advanced propulsion technology. "How long since our last formal assessment?" she asked the assembled council members. Science Director Moros, his insectoid mandibles clicking nervously, consulted his records. 43 standard cycles, Administrator. They had barely reached their moon then, using primitive chemical rockets. And now, Varin gestured at the display. Now they have ships moving beyond their solar system. Armed ships. Security Chief Dozek's gravelly voice rumbled through the chamber. The massive reptilian leaned forward, his armored hide creaking. "This violates all developmental models." The holographic display shifted to show human vessels pushing into deep space in organized formations. Their designs were blocky and utilitarian compared to the elegant council ships, but sensors indicated remarkably advanced weapons and shielding technology. "What explains this acceleration?" Varin demanded. Xenosociologist Lyra stepped forward, her avian features rigid with concentration. "Administrator, I've analyzed their communications. The humans believe they're about to be invaded." Silence fell over the council chamber. "Invaded? By whom?" Varin asked. "That's the curious part," Lyra continued. "They describe beings they call the Greys, thin humanoids with large eyes who allegedly visited Earth centuries ago. They believe these entities are returning in force." Security Chief Dozek snorted. "Paranoid delusions. No species matching that description has council membership." "Perhaps not," Science Director Moros interjected, "but the description bears resemblance to the Voidwalkers." Uncomfortable murmurs spread through the chamber. The Voidwalkers were thought extinct, having disappeared from galactic records over 3 millennia ago. They had been explorers and scientists once, before vanishing completely. "Speculation aside," Varin said, silencing the room, "we face an unprecedented situation. A pre-contact species has developed military capabilities approaching our own in a fraction of the expected time. We must establish communication before their expansion threatens established territories." "I recommend a diplomatic approach," suggested Ambassador Thela, her gelatinous form shifting colors with each word. "A small vessel, clearly marked as peaceful." "And if they attack?" Dozek countered. "Their technology suggests they can detect our observation posts," Moros noted. "If they truly believe an invasion is imminent, they may interpret any contact as hostile." Varin considered this. "Prepare a diplomatic vessel. Ambassador Thela will lead the mission." "But," she added, noting Dozek's expression, "equip it with our best defensive systems." 3 cycles later, the Council vessel Peaceful Discourse approached Earth's outer defense perimeter. The ship broadcast universal greeting protocols on all frequencies. No response. Communications Officer Pell reported, her tendrils writhing anxiously. Ambassador Thela moved to the command center. "Keep broadcasting." "They." "Energy spike," the tactical officer shouted. "Multiple human vessels approaching at high velocity. Weapons active." The view screen showed 5 human ships, bristling with weapon ports. Their design was unmistakably military, all sharp angles and reinforced plating. "Open a direct channel," Thela ordered. The communication system crackled to life. "Unidentified vessel, this is Captain Marcus Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You have entered restricted space. power down, and prepare to be boarded. Thila stepped forward. Captain Chen, I am Ambassador Thila of the Galactic Council. We come in peace to establish first contact with humanity. A harsh laugh answered her. First contact. Your kind has been abducting humans for centuries. We've recovered your technology, studied it, and prepared. Now you return with a larger force and expect us to believe you come in peace. There is a misunderstanding, Thila insisted. The Council has only observed your species from a distance. We have never interfered. Enough lies, Chen interrupted. Our long-range sensors have detected your fleet gathering at the edge of our system. You have 10 seconds to surrender before we open fire. Tactical Officer Grex leaned toward Thila. Ambassador, there is no fleet. Our nearest vessels are parsecs away. Thila's form pulsed with alarm. Captain Chen, please. There is no invasion fleet. We are alone and... The human ships opened fire. Advanced projectile weapons tore through space, followed by energy beams that the peaceful discourse's shields barely deflected. Evasive maneuvers. Thila ordered. Do not return fire. Transmit emergency retreat codes to the Council. As the diplomatic vessel retreated, human ships pursued relentlessly. Their weapons were unlike anything the Council had encountered. Hybrid technology that seemed specifically designed to penetrate standard defensive systems. Back in the Council chamber, Administrator Varen watched the recorded encounter with growing concern. They were absolutely convinced we represent these Greys, Ambassador Thila reported, her form still destabilized from the stress of the encounter. More concerning, Security Chief Dozek interjected, is that they detected a fleet where none exists. Either their sensors are malfunctioning, or something else is out there, Varen finished. Science Director Moros activated a new holographic display. We've analyzed the human weapons. They're specifically designed to counter technologies we use. Quantum shielding, phase displacement, even our stealth systems. But how could they have developed countermeasures to technology they've never encountered? Unless they have encountered it, xenosociologist Lyra said quietly. What if the Voidwalkers did visit Earth? What if humans reverse-engineered their technology? Impossible, Dozak dismissed. A primitive species couldn't possibly understand such advanced concepts. Fear is a powerful motivator, Lyra countered. If humans truly believed they faced extinction, they might have devoted all resources to defense technology. Administrator Varen stood, silencing the debate. Something unprecedented is happening. We need more information before deciding our next move. Increase observation but maintain distance from human vessels. Administrator, a communications officer interrupted, entering the chamber hurriedly. We've detected unusual energy signatures near the Arcturus Gateway. They match neither Council nor human configurations. The main display shifted to show a distant star system where strange distortions warped spacetime. Objects emerged, sleek, predatory vessels, unlike any in Council records. Analysis, Varen demanded. Moros studied the readings, his mandibles clicking rapidly. The configuration matches. This can't be right. It matches fragmentary records of Voidwalker technology, but drastically altered, more aggressive. The Council chamber erupted in shocked exclamations. The humans were right, Lyra whispered. They are coming back. As the Council struggled to comprehend this revelation, human long-range vessels were already moving to intercept the mysterious fleet. Earth, it seemed, had been preparing for this moment for generations. And the galaxy could only watch in fear. The truth beneath the stars. Administrator Varen stared at the tactical display as it tracked both human ships and the newly arrived vessels spreading through the Arcturus sector. After centuries of peace, the Galactic Council faced a crisis unprecedented in modern history. The humans are engaging the unknown fleet, reported Tactical Officer Grex, his dorsal spines rigid with tension. Their vessels are surprisingly effective against the intruders. Security Chief Dozak leaned forward, studying the battle data. Their weapons, They're specifically calibrated to target the intruder systems. This confirms it. Humans have encountered these beings before. We need to establish communication with Earth immediately, Varen decided. Not through conventional diplomatic channels. We need someone they might trust. Science Director Moros hesitated, then spoke. There is one option. We've been monitoring a human research station at the edge of their territory. It's scientific, not military. They might be more receptive. 12 hours later, a small council vessel approached the human research station orbiting Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. Unlike the previous diplomatic mission, this ship was stripped of all but essential defense systems and crewed by scientists rather than diplomats. Broadcasting on all frequencies, Communications Officer Pell announced, using the mathematical sequence as agreed. The view screen flickered, revealing the human female with dark skin and silver-streaked hair. Her expression was guarded but curious. This is Director Amara Okafor of the Europa Research Station. Identify yourselves. Xenosociologist Lyra stepped forward. Director Okafor, I am Lyra of the Galactic Council Science Directorate. We come seeking dialogue about the fleet that has entered the Arcturus sector. Okafor's eyes narrowed. You're not them. Not who, Director? The visitors. The ones who came before. Lyra exchanged glances with Moros. You mean the beings you call the Greys? No, we are not them. We believe they were a species known to us as the Voidwalkers, thought extinct for millennia. Okafor studied them silently. Finally, she spoke. Dock at Airlock 7. Small delegation only. Any sign of weapons, and we'll decompress the entire section. Inside the station, Council representatives faced a team of human scientists and military personnel. The atmosphere was tense, centuries of fear and preparation evident in the humans' rigid postures and ready weapons. Let me be clear, Okafor began. Earth has been preparing for the return of the visitors since they first came 300 years ago. They abducted thousands, experimented on us, left behind technology we've spent generations deciphering. The Voidwalkers were once peaceful explorers, Moros explained. They disappeared 3,000 years ago. We thought them extinct. Well, they're not extinct, growled Colonel Rivera, the military liaison, and they're definitely not peaceful. Lyra leaned forward. What you're fighting now? We don't believe they're the original Voidwalkers. Our analysis suggests their technology has been corrupted somehow. Corrupted how? Asked Dr. Chen, a human geneticist. The original Voidwalker technology was based on harmony with spatial dimensions, Moros explained. These vessels use similar principles but twisted, forcing tiers in spacetime rather than working with natural laws. Colonel Rivera snorted. Fascinating lecture, but irrelevant. They're here, they're hostile, and we're fighting them. Not alone, Lyra said quietly. The Council has voted to offer assistance. The humans exchanged skeptical glances. Why would you help us? Okafor asked. Your diplomatic vessel fled when we engage. Because we analyzed your defensive systems, Moros admitted. You've developed remarkable countermeasures, but you don't understand what you're truly fighting. Together, we might. After hours of tense negotiation, a fragile alliance formed. Human scientists shared their centuries of research on Voidwalker technology, while Council experts provided context for what the humans had discovered. These patterns, Dr. Chen said, pointing to complex equations, we found them in recovered visitor technology. We thought they were mathematics, but we could never solve them. Moros studied them, mandibles clicking in excitement. They're not mathematics, they're dimensional coordinates. The Voidwalkers were mapping pathways between realities. The combined research yielded a disturbing conclusion. The beings attacking human space weren't Voidwalkers, but something that had consumed them, a parasitic entity from another dimension that had hijacked their technology and biology. They're not returning to invade Earth, Lyra realized. They're fleeing something worse and consuming worlds as they go. Armed with this knowledge, A joint human council fleet assembled near Saturn. Human vessels, bristling with weapons designed to counter Voidwalker technology, formed the offensive line. Council ships, with their superior sensors and defensive capabilities, provided support and coordination. Admiral Helena Reyes, commander of Earth's defensive fleet, addressed the combined forces from the bridge of the EDF Defiance. For 3 centuries, humanity prepared for this day. We turned fear into determination, mystery into knowledge. Today, we fight not just for Earth, but for all sentient life. The battle was unlike anything the galaxy had witnessed. Human vessels dove aggressively toward the corrupted Voidwalker ships, their hybrid weapons tearing through dimensional shields thought impenetrable. Council ships created containment fields that prevented the enemy from slipping between realities to escape. In the council chambers, Administrator Varen watched the battle unfold with a mixture of horror and admiration. Humans fought with a ferocity that shocked even Security Chief Dozek. "They're not just soldiers," Lyra observed. "They're fighting for their species' very existence." The tide turned when Dr. Chen and Moros completed their analysis. The parasitic entity controlling the corrupted Voidwalkers operated through a quantum entanglement network. Disrupt the network, and the fleet would lose cohesion. "We need to strike the command vessel simultaneously in 3-dimensional planes," Moros explained. "It will require perfect synchronization. 3 ships, the human destroyer Resolute, the Council science vessel Dimensional Harmony, and a hybrid craft combining technologies from both species, executed the desperate maneuver. They struck from normal space, subspace, and through a temporarily generated dimensional fold. The corrupted Voidwalker command ship imploded, collapsing into a self-contained singularity. Without central control, the remaining fleet fell into disarray. Their coordination shattered. Weeks later, as the last enemy vessels were hunted down by joint patrols, Administrator Varen stood before the full Galactic Council. "We face a new reality," she announced. "Humanity, a species we considered primitive just cycles ago, has proven itself not only capable but necessary for galactic security. They developed in isolation, driven by fear, yet created technologies we never considered possible." Security Chief Dozek, his scales bearing new scars from the battle, nodded grudgingly. "They fight like nothing I've ever seen. Without their weapons, we would have lost. And without our knowledge, they would have misunderstood the true nature of the threat," Lyra added. "Together, we succeeded where either might have failed alone." The Council voted unanimously to formally welcome humanity into galactic society, bypassing the traditional development stages. As a gesture of trust, the observation posts around Earth were decommissioned. On the newly established joint station orbiting Earth's moon, Admiral Reyes met with Administrator Varen to formalize the alliance. "For generations, we looked to the stars in fear," Reyes said, gazing at the blue-green world below. "We built our civilization around defense, around survival at any cost. And in doing so, became something remarkable," Varen acknowledged. "Humanity's unique path led you to develop technologies and strategies no other species considered. What happens now?" Reyes asked, "with the immediate threat contained." Varen's translucent skin pulsed with colors humans were only beginning to understand: hope, anticipation, respect. "Now," she said, "we explore the galaxy together. There are wonders beyond imagining, Admiral, and dangers too. The dimensional parasites may have reached other sectors. The corrupted Voidwalker technology might have spread further than we know." Reyes nodded, understanding the unspoken message. Humanity's wariness, their preparedness, their determination to survive. These qualities would be needed in the greater galaxy. "The stars once filled us with fear," she said. "Now they offer partnership, but we'll never forget the lessons of our isolation." As the Earth turned below them, human and alien representatives finalized the details of their new alliance. The galaxy had watched in fear as humanity prepared for war. Now it watched with hope as a species forged in isolation took its place among the stars. not as conquerors, not as subjects, but as equals with unique gifts to offer. And beyond the known stars, in dimensions barely understood, other entities stirred, sensing the new alliance and the threat it posed to their own dark designs.